Welcome to the Multifamily Collective. Let's talk about the holograms. So it's time for the chatbot to move over. It's actually probably time for the copilot, which hasn't really made mass appeal at this point, but it's coming. It'll still be a thing. But move over, copilot, because here comes the hologram. Here comes the opportunity to put anyone in any space, anytime, anywhere in the world. And if you think about this as it relates to multifamily, there are so many use cases for holograms. I remember a number of years ago, I received a book in the mail. And I think I'm not sure if I did a podcast episode on this or not, meaning the person who sent it to me, they were pitching something. And I remember it seeming so interesting. I think I tried to get them on, but I'm not sure. Anyway, not the point. They sent a book. It was like a pitch book or a lookbook. And the lookbook or pitch book had a QR code in it. And I set my phone over the QR code, and all of a sudden, this hologram popped up on my phone. So it was standing, it was above the book. It's funny, I can't remember how it happened. It was either on my phone or it was on the book, but it stood up out of the book like a 3D dimensional kind of hologram. And you could put your hand through it or whatever, and it spoke, right? It was speaking, and I can't remember what the marketing message was at the time, but it was an incredible experience. And let's say this was, I want to say this was 3 or 4 years ago. I was still at the prior property management company that I worked for. I'll leave that name out. And I was sitting in an office in the Galleria area. So that had to be 4 or 5 years ago, plus or minus. So that hologram is very, very impressive at the time, but I'm sure it was very archaic as it relates to technology today. So if many of you were watching the NBA draft, I think it was the NBA draft, might be the NFL draft, but there was a particular individual who couldn't be somewhere. There was a watch party happening in an arena, and this particular individual who was drafted onto the team walked into this box, and that box sort of teleported him to this space where they were having this watch party. And this is a picture of the technology, the way it is advancing. That particular individual, even though he was sitting in New York City, he was being projected into the same space as this watch party was going on. And he looked real. It was incredible. So my imagination tells me you're going to see this technology in the multifamily space very soon. And I hope to have some people on who are working on it very soon, working on this kind of technology very soon. We are trying to stay ahead of the game as it relates to things that are breaking in the space. So anyway, more to come on that. I posted something on LinkedIn today, or I reposted something on LinkedIn today suggesting that the chatbots and our copilots need to step aside because here come the holograms. Here comes everybody. I remember a guy wrote a book several years ago that said, "Here comes everybody." And it was really the advent of the internet and social media. And when blogs were becoming popular at the time, he wrote a book called "Here Comes Everybody." Now it's sort of the digital version of "Here Comes Everybody," real time in your face, and supplemented or augmented by artificial intelligence. It's there's an arms race going on right now, and it's going to be an interesting end game once this is all set up and running. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.